made really interesting approaches to all of those challenges that we provided them. I think the judging criterias and that session highlighted a lot of like strengths from many of the teams, and I think others even had an opportunity to learn from new challenges to new approaches. I think it's really nice what everybody had a chance to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super, super exciting. And I just want to, I guess, take this time to sort of celebrate. Sorry for that weird start. I do still believe that we're not live on our YouTube, but I assume that whatever's going on in the background will fix it. I'm still getting people messaging me saying that they're not able to tune in. But anyway, it's an exciting day for everyone who's on the Zoom link, at least. We really appreciate you joining us, and got me to dress up for the first time in a long time. I feel like partying tonight. It's the end of the beginning of a very long journey. So very exciting. I can't wait to talk about all the challenges, all the winners, everyone who got involved, just so overwhelmed with joy and like appreciation, especially because we got off to some really tough starts on the Monday and Tuesday, and the people who kind of toughed it out and stuck with us really, really appreciate that.
Absolutely. I think, even for the organizing team, we learned a lot, and, we did our best. I think there's a lot of essence to extract from it. And at the end of the day, there's many people interested in bridging the two worlds of AI and climate change together to seek these solutions for a greater outcome for our future. And it's such a truly needed approach that we need to take. So hopefully the participants and others in the future that will be interested in tackling this type of approach, our teams, AI Launch Lab, MTL Green, will be involved in such endeavors in the future. So hopefully some of you out there watching us this evening will be able to continue the journey with us.
Yeah, exactly. It's I really hope that we can kind of enable these teams to really take things to the next level, and I'm really anxious to hear from them and see what we can do in 2021 and beyond.
Yeah, and speaking of like the participants, we were compiling where did these participants come from all around the world. And I think we can show on the screen a globe of our planet to see where did the participants come from around the world. And there were, I think, over 24 different countries that participated, people from different countries all around the world, meeting new friends through this hackathon. So I think it was really great silver lining during the pandemic to do such an event that was virtual.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the awesome benefits, as we mentioned in the past, I guess, days, was how it's so amazing that there was collaboration from people all over the world. Like, I think we'll give you a little bit of a peek into how many different countries were represented soon. But yeah, we can get into that slide. I think first, probably we should talk about the challenges though, right? In terms of what people worked on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we can look here on the screen and say a little bit more to your point, Tim, about each challenge. So this is a quick recap for those who are not there from the beginning and those only joining in this evening to hear who has the winning flames of this hackathon. So there were 5 approaches to the challenges, meaning 5 different types of challenges. As you see on the left-hand side on the screen, there was Kaggle style challenges. So this is known in the AI world, in the data analysis world. It's really trying to find a better model than what's existing. There's also data visualization. So many challenges took that approach. It's really trying to analyze and communicate the data through visualizing it in a compelling manner. We had also a unique challenge that was the AI artist challenge, which was one of its kind that uses art to compel others on how to attract them to these issues of climate change and using AI in an artistic fashion to really provoke the audience on understanding the issues at hand. And the other two, we had one that was like more open. So it was like bring your own challenge and get creative. So more of an open pitch type of approach. And finally, projected impact was a type of challenge that was really analyzing the impacts from humans and environmental impacts and exploring the potential future pointers that this data could tell us on climate change. So it was really like a projecting sort of analysis approach there. And on the right side, I'll quickly give an overview, is there was also different types of climate approach that each challenge took as their main approach. So here we heard like great talks on Friday evening, from some of the speakers. There's also some workshops on there, but here is really understanding the differences between adaptation. So how does this solution help us adapt towards the changes of the climate crisis? The other one is mitigation. So how can we find or retransform our solution towards something that will give us a more sustainable or net zero outcome for the needs that we're trying to perceive? And finally, awareness. It's really a form of understanding how can we make the right decisions and take that specific route towards approaching and tackling the climate crisis on the right foot, and visualizing that awareness and informing the audience on its importance.
Awesome. Thanks for that really great summary of all the challenges, Monika. Just want to welcome everyone who's on YouTube. Just want to let you know, sorry for that. You didn't miss really anything, so don't worry about it, but we apologize. So yeah, now I think what's really exciting to me is this next slide that we're going to bring up, which really shows the extent of across the globe collaboration that we had in this event. This was really, it blew my mind to see. As you can see, some of the countries that are up there, I think we had 32 in total represented. I know that some teams even had not one member of the team that were in the same country. So really incredible to see that, especially when you combine that with the amount of collaboration that was happening, not just within teams, but also team to team, as we saw with all those team to team feedback sessions that that you and the rest of the teams managed, Monika. Was really inspiring.
Absolutely. Like this is something that would be very difficult to have in a pre-pandemic type of situation. So I think that was really a true silver lining, a beauty of this online virtual hackathon. It was so much easier to connect to people across the world, meeting new type of people, having that diversity while sitting in your couch, and anyone could be at that moment in their own comfort of their homes. I think that was truly like a beautiful aspect of this hackathon.
Yeah, exactly. So not to take up too much more time since we're running a few minutes late, but I did want to say that again, the thing that I really care about as we start to get into the panels with the judges and the challenge creators, and then rewarding everyone or kind of recognizing the teams that we thought were able to distinguish themselves in some ways, is that this really we think is just kind of the first step. So I want to keep reiterating that anyone who wants to continue on with their project, that we will reach out to you. You should reach out to us, and the climate crisis obviously will not be solved for a bunch of amazing hackers in 48 hours, but maybe we can make a dent over the next year. So without taking up too much more time, Monika, do you think we should go to our first panel?
Yeah, let's do that, Tim. So maybe we can introduce the great panel members that will be joining in this first segment of the evening.
Exactly. So we are very lucky to have Charles Brunet. Charles is firstly the creator of the Sea Ice Challenge. So he's a PhD student at McGill University. He is, apologies, he is in the Department of Atmospheric and Oceanic Sciences. We have Stuart Spence, who is a scientific programmer and educator for Environment and Climate Change Canada. Stuart created the AI Artist Challenge. We had Matthew Chapman, who's a community climate hub manager, and he created the Reducing CO2 Challenge. We had Bo Cow, research associate at University of New Brunswick, Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, and he was the creator for the Wind Energy Challenge. And we also had David Landry, data scientist at the Computer Research Institute of Montreal. And he created and helped create, along with Bertrand, I believe, the Super Resolution Challenge. So let's welcome them all right now.
Amazing. Let's welcome this amazing panel of the challenge creators and have them tell us a bit more about their experience in this journey.
All right.
See them coming in shortly.
So thank you so much to all of you for spending the time to create these awesome challenges. I think beyond even what we were hoping to have teams accomplish during the weekend, it really helped with everyone to kind of understand more about the climate crisis by diving deep into these challenges. And obviously a lot of teams, when they were trying to figure out which one they wanted to work on, they looked into several. So I think it really raised the knowledge base amongst the participants and the attendees, which is really great.
So Tim, as the challenge coordinator, so I'm Bertrand Denis. I would like to thank all the challenge mandators because we spent a lot of time discussing with them.
Bertrand, can we just have you turn your video on?
No, it's blocked.
Okay, so somebody will get that done for you. So
okay. So I was saying that, it took time for the challenge mandators to come up with something that is presentable for the challengers, and it took a lot of work for them also to do that. And they were very responsive during the 48 hours to answer questions. So they spent a lot of their time to make sure that everything was okay, and we do appreciate that.
Yeah, exactly. So now let's see if we can get all the panelists along with Bertrand to turn on their video.
Oh yeah.
There we are.
We see them coming in, looking good, guys, for the big gala.
So we have Bertrand. Anyone else jumping in?
I think it's still impossible for me to start video, unfortunately.
Okay, so let's get this conversation going, and maybe we can have you periodically to see if you have the permissions yet. But Bertrand, maybe you could lead the conversation.
You're on mute, Bertrand.
Yeah. So I would like to know if the challenge mandators are happy with the outcomes.
Yes, if I can take a start on this, you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just overall it was a overwhelmingly positive experience for me. I am kind of new to the hackathon environment, AI environment. So I was coming here with the challenge of physics-based problem that I've been working on. And man, I'd say I was so impressed. I was impressed by the power of the tools that people brought to the table for solving those problems. Even more than that, I was impressed with everyone, all the participants' capacity to use these tools and apply them to the problem I was presenting and crack it open. And even more than that, do that in 48 hours. I was totally impressed. So yeah, I was very happy with how people managed to take a look at this physics-based climate problem. Most of the team met the benchmark or even went beyond and managed to beat that benchmark. So the performance was really good, to the point that we'll be staying in touch with the teams, and we want to continue the collaboration. So I guess that's another interesting outcome, that we propose a problem, let's see what people can bring to the table. And it's good to the point that we want to continue that interaction and that collaboration. So congrats to everyone who participated in that CIS challenge that we were proposing, and thanks to the organizers for having us, making us some space here to propose this idea and interact with the people. It was a fantastic experience.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, and Bertrand mentioned the amount of work that goes into preparing such a hackathon, right? Setting everything right so that we can enable this creativity from the participants, like get them started as quickly as possible. But really, I think I got a lot more than I put into it from this hackathon. Seeing the teams work on a problem that that you've circled a couple of times, and then they bring all this new energy, fresh ideas. Really, it's a really invigorating experience for me too, and just got me to fall in love again with these problems,
Yeah, I'd like to second that. I think David, very articulate, falling in love with the problem again, learning more than I feel like I taught. It was a terrific experience in that respect, to be surrounded by young and older data, whizzes, and there are definitely, to bounce off Charles's reflections, teams that we will remain in contact with, and I've already begun connecting with on LinkedIn. There we go. Okay, I have permission now to share. Here I am. Yeah, in terms of my expectations, this is the third or fourth hackathon I've participated in as a challenge developer, and yeah, this one definitely produced the best. Not everything that was produced was the best I've ever seen, but some of what was produced was the best I've ever seen. So I'm very happy to say that. And yeah, thank you very much. And even the experience of working with the teams, over the weekend, sending messages late at night, early in the morning, it harkens back to earlier years, and it makes me very happy to relive those experiences.
Really cool. Thanks for saying that, and definitely don't hesitate to criticize us. Feel like we should be paying you for this. Do we have any maybe comments from Bo or Stuart?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's very the first thing I would like, congratulations to the organizations, and it's a pretty I really enjoyed this event. Even I just got some message during this weekend, but it's still amazing because I'm in electrical engineering, so this is it's pretty new. The AI, this event, the hacking event, even is pretty new to me. So, but it's good. I would like to see it's open a door, more and more AI expert could be serve the real problems, the one we normally stay in. They try to open a door for the I will see the traditional areas that's not normally we don't use that way. From the result, the team's post, I think it's really impressed me. They use another ideas to make solutions for the problems. That's a pretty good. That's why we sometimes need to cross the distances, that's a really good, and I think for these topics, I always thinking the data is always small. One day becomes large, right? So it's just all our method recently have to develop based on quite a large amount of data. So, but when we don't have the data, so how we deal with, how we use the AI to give us solutions. I'm really impressed with that. So great. I would like to say thank you all the organizations and all the experts here. It's a really amazing event. Thanks.
Appreciate that, Bo. Let's see if we can turn on your video just for a sec so we can see you. And also,
yeah, it works. Yeah.
Cool, great. And also, I heard that possibly you were willing to offer something to some of the participants in your challenge. Was that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, really, I think every participant is show their very professional background in these areas, and I'm not sure how many participants are university student, but I would like to offer co-op programs this summer. So if someone's interested in to support that, and if you have also have the interest to pursue master or PhD programs, just send me emails, and if you, I would like to provide funding to support the program. Actually, it's just it's not for wind forecasting. It's true. It's in our as we particularly at UMBs we have expertise on that, but it's still. I still think it's pretty new. We need some student from the AI, from the machine learning, that come into the electrical department to help and support or explore more ideas to using a different way to reserve the practical questions. I think that's important. We need some new blood.
Awesome. Really, really cool to hear that. Let's hear from Stuart quickly.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Excellent. Great. So hello. Here's the event. Here we go. I'm Stuart Spence, and yeah, as we said, I work at Environment and Climate Change Canada as a senior scientific programmer. I was a mentor, and I proposed the AI Artist Challenge. So thanks to everyone who worked on all the projects we saw. I had a look at all the projects, especially the ones with visualization, 2D, 3D, all the notebooks that we saw. So really great stuff, great to see all the work that we did. It was very cool. And also, so Environment Canada, like we're often looking for people and hiring. So I just helped interview a student today. So we're doing students and entry level as well, intermediate. There's my video on the AI Launch Lab YouTube channel. If you're interested in more data visualization examples from Environment Canada. And any challenge winners, I just asked my manager today, he's interested in getting emails from you guys if you're interested in that. So just contact me and we can figure that out. So thanks for having me, and thanks for working on the AI Artist Challenge. And a lot of the other ones had some cool visual stuff too. So that was really nice to see. So thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. And when you say emails, you mean like potentially to be hired, or just to kind of get in contact?
That's right, for student positions. We're looking actively right now. We interviewed a student just today. So definitely contact me, and we can definitely look into that, because we need people badly. And any challenge winners for sure. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you think, Monika? We were going to go to our judges panel, but we have Dr. Strome. Should we do any switch on the fly and maybe have Dr. Strome speak first, and then we'll do the judges panel just after, so we don't mess up her schedule? Why don't we do that?
I think we can go with that. And later, the awards will be announced by the judges. So that will be the opportunity to maybe hear a bit more from them. But let's thank the challenge owners, all the ones here that spoke. I think it made the hackathon interesting and really solving, problems that really tackle climate change with like interesting data to work on. So thank you to all of you, even for supporting the teams that worked on these challenges. I think it's really nice for them to hear from you, and it makes it very meaningful.
Yeah, definitely. Really appreciate that. Also, I didn't want to forget to mention there were 3 other challenges. So of course we heard all those great accolades for the teams and for the hackathon from these. There were 3 challenges that had less participation. So not everything always turns out the way that we want. We are hoping that we can have projects actually during this year with to turn those challenges into projects. during our program in order to try to have something for the remote communities project, some impact there, and for the sewage challenge, I'm forgetting the name of it, and then also the last one was the smart building challenge as well. So those are three that we still need to get some impact on, and we're going to do our best to do that this year. So without further delay, let's bring on our very, very special guest. So this is Dr. Elissa Strome, and Dr. Elissa Strome is the Executive Director for the Pan-Canadian AI Strategy at CIFAR, and very, very important person. We really, really appreciate her for taking the time to come and speak to everyone today. So thank you, Elissa.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Timothy. It's really a pleasure to be with all of you tonight. And I know that I'm sort of keeping you from the big exciting news and the results and from hearing from the judges. So I'll be brief in my remarks, but it's such a pleasure to be able to come in and share a little bit with this audience, because I know it's an incredibly diverse audience. We've got participants from all around the world who were part of this program and this initiative. And I'm pleased to just share a little bit about the Canadian AI ecosystem to open your eyes a little bit more to the strengths and opportunities that we have across Canada for further research and development opportunities in this space. And when Tim and the team came to me to tell me about this hackathon and the work that they're doing, I was so excited right away, because I saw immediately that the goals of this initiative aligned very, very closely with the goals of the Pan-Canadian AI strategy. So let me tell you a little bit about what I do, because I do like to say that I have the best job in Canada right now, and I'm pleased to be able to share it with you. So in March of 2017, the Canadian government launched our national AI research and innovation strategy. It's called the Pan-Canadian AI strategy. And my job really is to work with researchers at our 3 national AI institutes, the leadership there, and researchers and students across the country as we work to advance AI research and its application in important areas that impact society, like climate, for instance. And so I've been in my role now for 3 years, and it's really been just a tremendous experience for me. And I have the pleasure of really helping researchers across the country to advance their research programs and initiatives, helping students at all levels of education, from high school students all the way up to postdoctoral fellows, to advance their training in AI and find research opportunities. And to really represent Canadian AI on the international stage when I speak and participate in panels and initiatives at organizations like the OECD, or I speak at conferences around the world. I really am in such a privileged position to talk about the great strengths of Canadian AI. So the strategy really has 4 objectives. Our first goal was to establish dedicated independent AI research institutes in Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton. These are called the Vector Institute, Mila, and Amy. And they didn't come out of thin air. They were really building on decades and decades of research strength in those 3 cities. We're very, very fortunate in Canada to have 3 of the pioneering leaders in the development of machine learning approaches be located at our 3 universities in Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton. And they've been there for many years, decades really, and have led the development of deep learning, of reinforcement learning, of other approaches to machine learning and artificial intelligence. And those pioneers, of course, are Jeff Hinton in Toronto, Yoshua Bengio in Montreal, and Rich Sutton in Edmonton. And over their careers, they've attracted many, many great colleagues to come and join them at the universities. They have trained dozens and hundreds really of graduate students between them and their colleagues. And it really, all of that sort of history in Canada has really established Canada as one of the world's leading AI nations. And we're very proud to be able to say that. And so the strategy was designed to really help Canada to maintain our position in AI research, but also to really advance Canada's very unique and particular brand or culture of AI. And the work that we do across the country, has a a really critical focus on responsible AI, first and foremost, ensuring that the AI that we're developing and deploying is really done so in a way that respects human rights, is delivering positive benefits to humanity, is thinking about ethical approaches and equality as we embark on the deployment of AI, but also thinking about AI for social good. And that's why this hackathon was such a shiny beacon for me, because of course, the work that we do when we think about climate change and mitigating climate change is really benefiting society at large, and that's something that we care a lot about when we think about AI in Canada. The other element of the program that really struck me is around the diversity and the inclusiveness of this program. And both of those principles are also founding core strategic priorities of the Pan-Canadian AI strategy. So, we've established our 3 AI institutes. They are the centers of their AI ecosystems. They are dynamic hubs where researchers and students work with industry, work with policymakers, work with venture capitalists, work with startup companies. And we're really all together really advancing Canada's AI ecosystem. Excuse me. The other element of our strategy is really focused on talent, and that is represented by our chairs program. So we have a Canada CIFAR AI chairs program. I'm gonna have to take a drink. Excuse me. And this chairs program is really designed to recruit and retain some of the world's top researchers in AI in Canada. And we just last week, in fact, named the newest cohort of Canada CIFAR AI chairs. And so we're up to 109 of these individuals across the country. And I see David Rolnick is here today. We were very pleased last week to be able to include David in our program and announce him as one of our new CCAI chairs. So that's how we really retain great talent in Canada. We also have a national program of activities, which provides training activities, workshops, conferences, to bring researchers and students together across the country. And then finally, we have our AI in Society program, which really works with policymakers, works with researchers in the social sciences and humanities to advance and understand some of the societal implications of AI. So the strategy has been going strong for 3 years. We're seeing tremendous impact from that. And I really encourage all the participants in this program to take a look at the CIFAR website. I encourage you to sign up for updates from CIFAR. We have a newsletter that we issue every couple of months. It's called the AI Can Bulletin. You can sign up at the cifar.ca website if you go to the bottom of the page. And that's a way to get information and news about events, workshops, activities, research updates on AI in Canada. And the most important thing that I want to leave you with and encourage you to look out for is our annual Deep Learning Reinforcement Learning Summer School. So this is really one of the world's foremost training programs on AI. We would normally run it in person in Canada. It's a highly international training program. This year, we're running it virtually again, and it will be sort of 5 days of very intensive training delivered by some of our amazing professors and researchers in Canada. And so I encourage you to take a look at that and apply for that as well. So I'll leave you with that. It's really a pleasure to come and share the Canadian AI story. I'm happy to answer any questions. I don't think we have time to take questions live right now, but please feel free to reach out to me by email if you're interested in learning more about Canadian AI research and innovation. And I invite you to follow CIFAR and the Pan-Canadian AI strategy on social media and in our newsletter. Thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elissa. I also forgot to mention that CIFAR was a big sponsor of this event too. So thank you so much for that as well. We couldn't have done this without that support. Do you have any time for any questions? Or
Sure, I'm happy to take some if anything has come in. Yeah.
Great. So if anyone has any questions, definitely post them now. In the meantime, I was wondering, what would you say to so many of the participants that were part of this event are from all these 32 different countries. Is there any opportunity for them to come to Canada or to be part of this in some way?
Absolutely. And, we've really been focused over the last few years in recruiting students and professors and researchers from all around the world to come and join us in Canada. We built up these 3 AI institutes. They are truly vibrant hubs of AI research. And if you're interested in fundamental research in AI, we're doing that at our AI institutes. If you're interested in applications like the work that you've done through this hackathon, there's lots of that work going on. And there's basically something for everybody. If you feel passionate about the opportunity for AI to really deliver positive benefits to society, that research is happening in Canada. It's happening across the country, and there are many opportunities for students, for research assistants, etc.
Awesome. So, do we have any questions? We were posting this all over the place, and it's going to be hard to compile them all. But any questions from YouTube or Facebook? Shad, do we have any?
No.
And if not, we'll just direct them. Sorry.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much again, Elissa. Really appreciate your time. If there are any very pressing or relevant questions, we'll send them your way for sure. And again, thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations to the organizers, and congratulations to everybody who participated in this initiative. I think it's been a great success, and we've learned a lot, and there's so much more that we can do together. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a really great point to make. Beyond obviously like the organizing team, we're just here to try to facilitate everyone else to have impact, and the teams that we're going to announce soon, managed to maybe get something in 48 hours, which is incredible. But for everyone else who just took part in this, who put in the effort to try to do something, even if it didn't work out, I mean, that's just awesome. It's very easy to just give up, not to say that giving up is necessarily bad. There's room for that too when you need, focus on something else. But the people who really had the determination to try to do something, even if you failed in this weekend, you're awesome, and definitely want to recognize that.
Yeah, I want to echo those words too, Tim. Congratulations for everyone for your commitment, perseverance, and for your bravery. Tackling these issues are not easy ones, so congratulations to everybody.
All right, so let's go really quickly to one of our partners for just a couple minutes. We're going to introduce Andy Manel. So Andy is from Montreal New Tech, and definitely wanted to give them a little bit of time to talk about Montreal New Tech, and also a prize that they're willing to give to all of the winning teams. So do we have Andy? And I guess while we're getting Andy on, just for context, they've been an important partner of AI Launch Labs for a couple of years now. We definitely could not have been able to execute on what we're doing now without their support. Last year's hackathon, which was at Mila, we really relied on them heavily to help us get that done, and we couldn't have done it without the entire team there. So do we have Andy now? And if not, we'll bring him on later.
I see he's there.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
All right, Andy. So yeah, maybe give a quick introduction of you and New Tech and what you have for the teams.
Thanks, Tim. So my name is Andy Manel. I am a startup resource director at Montreal New Tech. So Montreal New Tech is a community built like 10 years old organizations trying to catalyze innovation and connection in Montreal. So we have some experience of the good and the bad things around why innovation fails sometimes. So what we want to be sure and to offer to those teams that are the winners is the possibility to collaborate, and so we will offer kind of companion for those teams to support them during the journey, so in the startup journey, to find those key partners. So in the case that they are trying to offer a solution that is more related business to business solution, so we want to offer them our expertise and connect them with those organizations that can help those projects that start really tiny and they need that support, no? The first client, the first really important partner, and to be sure that those projects don't die. So there is startups have a lot of friction to survive in the first time. One of them is to find clients. Another one is also to find the right partner. So at Monteno Tech, we want to offer them like kind of companion for those teams to navigate the Montreal technology ecosystem, and to be sure that they don't survive, also they thrive and they grow and can scale the impact in Canada or around the world.
Awesome. And yeah, just to make sure people understand, it's not just Montreal, right? Montreal New Tech has connections all over the globe.
Yes.
I know they've helped us connect with partners in China and South America and Mexico and Europe. So exactly. So cool. And just wanted to hear quickly, what is Montreal New Tech going to award to the winning teams?
So what we want to offer is this kind of a companion. So we have the kind of open innovation program for those teams, where during several weeks we will just be really near to those teams and to make those connections with those key partners that they need to bring those projects to a reality, real impact. I will share my information in the chat. So if somebody beyond winners, if somebody wants just to contact me and to ask questions, so I will be really happy to answer them.
Awesome. Yeah. So they can help support you with your project to take it to the next level. And as Andy said, not just winners, anyone who's really motivated who took part. So thanks a lot, Andy. Appreciate your support and the support of Montreal New Tech. So let's go quickly to. Are you getting goosebumps, Monika?
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So actually, let's invite a few of the judges that took part of judging the teams. Let's introduce them here very shortly about them before announcing now the grand winners. So I would like to invite 3 of the almost 10 judges that we had for evaluating all the team projects. And we have with us Dr. Elham Keradmand. So welcome, Elham. We also have Bertrand Denis, who was the challenge coordinator for almost all the challenges, and also Theo van Brabant, which is a sustainability strategist. So welcome the 3 of you representing the judges. Maybe I'll ask you 3 just a quick question about your impressions before we go to the awards ceremony.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Let's include Dr. Rolnick, David Rolnick, as well into this.
Yeah, absolutely, David. You're welcome to hop on too. So also, obviously, you guys know Dr. David Rolnick, who also did an amazing speech on Friday, but also took part in the judging of those challenges. So to some of the judges here with us today, can you tell us a bit more? How did the findings meet maybe some expectations you had prior, or how will they be useful and insightful in really tackling the climate change? Maybe you can share a few thoughts there while you were evaluating, and were there any results that perhaps surprised you?
Who wants to go first? Let's maybe start with Bertrand. What do you think?
Well, when I reached to Charles about his CI's challenge, I thought, well, maybe, he's alone working on his problem. Why not ask the crowd? And why not ask the world to participate and try to find solutions? So it's much more powerful than just working your own office on a problem for months and months. No, ask the crowd, the power of the crowd, open innovation. And then in 48 hours only, he got the best result he has never seen before.
Amazing.
That's a good achievement.
Yeah. And Bertrand, just so people know a little bit about you, can you tell us your background?
Oh, yeah. I've worked for 30 years at Environment and Climate Change Canada. I started my career as a weather forecaster. Then I work in research in development, climate simulation a lot, numerical modeling, AI, use of AI in weather forecasting, and now I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing now.
Really cool. All right, so let's hear from Elham. What do you think?
Yeah, thank you, Tim and Monika first. And actually, I can say that I had such a great experience, like the weekend that like for 48 hours that all participants around the world and then come to solve the climate change problems. So we had tens of people, and they all trying to like bring a better insight into climate change, which is like a big issue. And the good thing that they're using AI for that. So I was happy that I got to know like many people from different disciplines and it was honor for me that to be able to have participants with different levels. And actually, I was impressed by their work and actually the creativity. So the creativity that the hackers that they had to solve the problems, it was something big. And
Cool. And just so people know your background as well, Elham.
Yeah, sure. So currently I am, so I have a PhD in mathematics, and currently I am a postdoc researcher at University of Montreal, and I'm working and I'm using AI to know more the climate change risk of companies. So, and also I am a research and development scientist at Actionable. And I'm collaborating with AI Launch Up, I think since April 2020. And it was like such a great experience and collaboration that I had with them.
Awesome, appreciate that. So it's just so people know, there's some really qualified judges here that were judging the results, not somebody like me. Let's go to Theo. What did you think?
Hi, Tim, thanks. Yeah, for me, this experience was about creating an environment for collaboration to emerge and learning, especially because we're tackling climate change as a complex, wicked problem, and enabling different fields to talk to each other, AI and climate change scientists, I think is one of the main aspects that we're looking into, of creating these environment for collaboration and creating common language, because we often come from different field and we talk sometime about the same thing, but in different ways. And then creating a space for building capacity for that, right? And getting into the habit of thinking in systems and understanding the difference between adaptation and mitigation and how awareness comes into play with all of that in terms of tackling the climate crisis. And I think we did a good job as a first round of this. I think for me, it's a bit of a prototype, and seeing the outcome of the team was really an interesting part of this process. That I feel like, okay, the teams have been talking to each other. They learn from each other's experience and perspective, multiple different countries and cultures coming together. So yeah, for me, this is a great success in that sense, and we're looking forward to continue that kind of work of collaboration and enabling innovation from multiple fields to tackle climate crisis. And I come from my background is in sustainable, strategic sustainable development, it's called, and it's interdisciplinary by nature, sustainable development. So our role as sustainability becomes more and more prominent in everyone's vision and strategy. Is to support cross-sectoral partnership, and I think AI can also be part of that process by enabling all kinds of new insights and predictives, and also optimization for mitigation and so on. So I'm happy that we were able to go through this experience together and look forward for the next steps.
Awesome. So let's go to David. David, we already heard a little bit about how qualified you are from Dr. Strome. What are your thoughts?
Thank you, Elissa. I'm really impressed by what people managed to do over just a weekend. I mean, really, there is so much that teams have achieved in various projects. I'm really impressed by this. Some feedback in general for the teams. First, make sure you really understand the context within which you're working. Obviously, it's not really possible in this amount of time to get to that point if you aren't familiar with the problem before, but remember there are a lot of subtleties in all of these things, and really just trying to understand exactly what the needs and bottlenecks are, ideally over the course of months and years, will be essential to actually having an impact. And then starting out also with the simplest possible methods. So I understand that sometimes the exigencies of a weekend are going to change things, but really don't start out thinking a fancy model. Don't start with neural networks. Just like never start with neural networks. Start with regression or something, unless that you really know that there's some reason why these fancy methods are going to be the best approach. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed by what teams managed to do. I guess I would also say that if you're new to working on climate change, I guess many of the attendees are, a hackathon can be a good way to get your feet wet, but remember that there aren't really quick ways to have an impact here. So, once you're excited by a problem, go out and dive into the area that you want to have an impact on. That's fantastic. You can absolutely have an impact, but it will take that time really delving into the area. And some of the startup mentality of let's disrupt this system and come up with quick solutions doesn't work and can actually make things worse. Which I think, like I said, I think this is great for inspiring people, but make sure that is that you recognize that this is to get everyone's feet wet, and that's fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for the judges for sharing some thoughts there. I think, the clock has hit the full hour and people are eager to hear who are those winners. So actually there'll be a winning team for 6 of the challenges where there was a lot of activity and teams that participated. And we also have 3 special prizes and awards that we'll also present after the 6 challenges of the prizes that are in hand. So I will let and invite Dr. Elham Keradmand and also Dr. Bertrand Denis to present us each category, the nominees, and finally the winner for each of the 6 challenges.
Goodness, I'm sweating, Monika, and I don't even have a chance to win any of these.
Oh my God, me too. I have heart palpitations. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to see? I think this is the moment everyone's waiting for.
Yeah, that's right. So good evening, everyone. So let's announce winners. I'm sure you have been waiting for this moment. So, yes, we were sorry. The first challenge that we had is AI Artist Challenge. So the nominees are AIVV, and the winner is yeah, congratulations, Team AIVV. Then it's member Paula, Peter, and Shaheen. So yeah, just a little bit. I tell you about this challenge that in AI Artist Challenge, teams should use AI to make art and then show the connection. So Team AIVV that provided good visualization diagrams in their video presentation, and the presentation was engaging and interesting. I was impressed with the creativity in their visualization, and I like the strategy to approach the problem. Congratulations.
Awesome, congratulations.
So let's go to the next challenge.
Yeah, let's go to the next challenge.
Thank you, Alam. So the next challenge, don't worry, be healthy, not be happy, be healthy. So we need It's coast to coast pollinator. And the winner is coast to coast. Congratulations, coast to coast team and its member, who are Mary, Talib, Chad, and Andy. So that challenge was, the goal was to capture the influence of climate change on bee pollination activity and honey production using predictive AI. So what I found fantastic is within 48 hours, they meet the objective, which was to see the relationship between the weather and the honey production using historical data, and they even be able to see what will be the impact on the honey production using climate projection. All that within 48 hours. So congratulations again.
Awesome.
So the next challenge is reducing CO2, and the nominees are Pixel Cities, Visionary, Standard Definition, and Vers le Futur. The winner is...
All right.
Yeah, congratulations to Standard Definition and its member Diego, Shireen. And yeah, in this challenge, they had to draw a data set that is combined by Carbon Disclosure Project. And they should actually visualize the progress and decarbonization. And Standard Definition did an excellent job. They provided a working prototype, which is available now for play. And they produce a great, fun product to drive awareness, well visualized in a creative way. And actually, our judges loved that how the team go through, and then they evolve the problem. They say that it's very creative, their work, and the way that they show, they show that what's the the images of various cities for the carbon emissions. It was very impressive. Congratulations.
Awesome. And
let's go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go to the second.
The next challenge. Thank you, Adam. So the next challenge is super resolution. And the nominees are Patate Beige Ally and Supergans. And the winner is Supergans. Member Leo, Sayama, and Yuri.
All right.
So the goal of that super resolution challenge was to increase climate model output. So the level of details provided by global climate model, all that using AI. So the judges found that the team really did a good job, good presentation, step-by-step work, and a lot of good communication between the teams. So again, congratulations.
Yeah.
So the next challenge is CI's movement, and the nominees are CI's Rift, AI Brussels, Wall Eyes, Graph Eyes, the Polar Bears, and Ice Analyzer. And the winner is...
All right. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to Wall Eyes and his members, Anna, Amanda, and Anka, and Masood. So in CI's movement challenge, the task was using AI to build models for the best reproducing ice movement. And Ice did a great job. And I thought the presentation was very impressive. It was clear, and they were clear in the problem statement. They were able to use and analyze data and the code that they have written, and then actually comment the code, and the performance of their code was good. And it seems like they learned a lot, and that was a good effort. And yeah, congratulations.
Awesome.
Thank you, Alam. And the last challenge, I believe, about Wind Energy Challenge. It nominees are Multi-Win AI and Resilient Saturdays AI. And the winner is Resilient Saturdays AI with Christina and Raphael. Congratulations. So that challenge was to leverage AI to better forecast wind energy when historical data to train their AI model is limited. So that team was selected by the judges because they had a great framing of the problem. They explained well their project, a good presentation, and a good use of AI. So congratulations again.
Yeah, great job.
Amazing. Wow. Congratulations to those 6 winners for each of those 6 challenges we had the teams work on this last weekend. And thank you to Elham and Bertrand for presenting them. But that's not the only awards we have this evening. We also have 3 special awards, which I will bring. The first one, which is based on collaboration.
This one, are we bringing in Jason?
Yeah, so I'd like to bring Jason to show us a quick overview. What was collaboration about this weekend?
A word for a sec. Yeah, let's go to Jason and have him do a brief explainer.
All right, thanks, Tim. Well, they're gonna feel bad at me because we had to stop the actual announcement. I'll be quick. I'll be brief. Yeah, this award was kind of special for us in a way because I thought this is what made this hackathon a bit unique. So typically in a hackathon, teams work kind of siloed. You get your team and you work together to solve this problem. But in this one, we tried really to get people to work together. So not only you had your team and you had to work in your team, but to work with other people to help out, because climate change is such a big problem. We really want to do the best to find that solution. So, and not only that, it was online. So we had people from around the world, and we would work in the same space, but now we're having to find a way to make this space virtual. So it was quite a challenge. So this award of collaboration was based on feedback sessions that we did have, which were live, where the teams actually had a chance to give feedback to the other teams even before the final submission was even done. And we had rooms that people could go into, private rooms to chat. We had a help desk that we could go in. But one of the tools I want to show you, which I think made this a little bit more unique, was a tool that's called Miro. So I'll just share my screen if you'll indulge me for a moment. And I promise I'll be brief. So this tool here, if you can imagine, if you're watching this and you weren't there, you can imagine this board as a big Google Doc where everybody can work on it together as a shared document. And this was our platform, and you would see all the noise moving around. And so we had all the basic information that all the challengers would need about the judges, the workshops, etc. But part of this collaboration was here. We did a lot of activity that people would participate in to help get to know each other. So in here, we invited participants to get to learn how to use Miro, but also put a little bit about themselves, what's happening in their life, what passions they have, pictures, or what drives them. So this was a kind of a way for us to help the teams get to know each other, maybe who you're working with in a fun way. And outside of this main area where we had all the information presented, we also had the team spaces. So each team had their own board. Let me show you this one. It's kind of typically how it would look. So their own space with all the information, but then each team had their own space within which to work. And again, it's like a Google Doc. So everybody collaborates at the same time. They get put pictures and graphs and different things inside here as they try to figure out how to work on the challenges. So these were a couple good ones from the the Beehive Challenge, the artists. Some people would post videos, different posters, communicate with our team. And even this one here, they put lines to other teams saying, hey, come check out what we're doing, you know, kind of inviting people to take a look. And that was another interesting aspect, that, you know, the teams working here were showing what they were doing, but they were also showing it in public. Other teams could go over and look at what they were doing. So if they got a little bit stuck, you could look at what a team was putting in there and say, hey, that might spark an idea. So, and I think that we succeeded on a certain level. I think I heard Bertrand and Matthew say that there were some pretty great great submissions that came in as a result. So maybe that was also part of the collaboration part. I hope that it was. And I think I will leave it at that, because the comments will try to be brief.
Awesome. So Jason, do you want to announce who wins the collaboration award?
Sure. Throw it on.
So let's bring back that suspenseful.
So the collaboration award. Congratulations, you guys. We were really, really impressed with the way you collaborated, with not only with the way you worked together as a team, and you did produce a great result. Obviously, you won one of the challenges yourself, but also the feedback that you gave to the teams. That last space that I showed was you actually inviting other teams to come and chat and talk to you. And I think even in the little icebreaker where you had all the different spaces that people put their personal information and you commented on every single one of them. It was like, oh, that's cool. Or look at that. So kudos, you guys did a fantastic job with collaboration, and congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you, Jason. And I think collaboration was really the key here, not only through the Miro tool, but also through team-to-team feedback sessions. There were 3 of them over the weekend. We also use meeting rooms like Rally. We use Slack. So I think, you know, it's nice to see some teams that really nurtured that and took it forward. So thanks, Jason, for
My
that.
pleasure. Congrats again.
Yeah, awesome. Yes. So we have 2 more awards, and maybe I'll do this one, and then Monika, you can do the final awards. So really exciting. So the next award that we have is called the Endeavor Award, and this really has to do with the amount of dedication, determination, effort that teams put in. So congratulations to and the second one, Ice Analyzers. So both of these teams really set themselves apart in many ways in terms of the amount of effort that they put throughout this weekend to really, you know, get something done, to just keep pushing throughout the whole 48 hours. So congratulations to both of those teams. And we have one more.
Yeah, exactly. So before playing quickly, I'll tell you, it's the Climate Crisis Award. So it's the team took the best approach on tackling really the core climate crisis approach in their project. So let's see who wins this special award. So the Climate Crisis Award goes to Bell Eyes, winning a second award tonight. Congratulations to Anna, Amanda, and also Anka and Masood.
Yeah, wow, is that a second or a third? It's like
third one.
Third, oh my gosh, the Bell Ice is on fire. And
did you want to say anything about that, Elham? Or
yeah, of course. Actually, they did an impressive job. Everything about their work, the visualization was impressive. They had a professional presentation. Actually, the model that they created for the prediction was accurate, and also they introduced key concept in environment, which is like a very important element for us to judge. They framed the project within the context of the climate crisis and highlighted its usefulness. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, what do you think, Bertrand?
Well, for me, the presentation is a presentation that is ready to go to a science conference, just like that.
Wow.
And also, I was impressed to see that they added something about when the sea ice will disappear in the Arctic, and they came up with 2060. And the most recent estimate is 2050. So it's not bad. So I was, and I went and checked their code, and oh my God, it's well written, well commented. It's like a course, you know. Very nice job.
They have done it in 48 hours.
And even less, right? Because we had the keynote talks that ended like around 8 o'clock, and then it was like brainstorming, and then we cut them off at 6. So not a lot of time. It's really incredible. And I just want to say, like, you know, the whole point of all these winners, beyond what we're going to do to kind of try to support them and offer them some, you know, in terms of prizes, is it's to kind of inspire everyone else, right? Like, I can't imagine that teams were able to do this in this short amount of time. And this just makes me realize, like, wow, like if I really, you know, obviously maybe I'm not as smart as them or as knowledgeable, but I mean, it really inspires me to realize like what can actually be accomplished. And if we all inspire each other in this way, maybe we can actually play a meaningful role in terms of addressing the climate crisis. And that's really what we're all here for, right, Monika?
Absolutely. Congratulations to all the teams that won. I think it's going to leapfrog you to future endeavors and more attention, because these challenges, people are interested in this, you know, so this is not the end, like Tim was saying, it's really the beginning. So congratulations to all of you that pulled through, that push, and it wasn't an easy weekend, it was an intense one, and it was probably a new experience in some ways for many. So congratulations to all the winners and everybody that was involved. You guys could tap yourselves on the back, cheer a good cold drink together tonight, and we hope to see you around and that it doesn't just end today.
Yeah, and so we haven't yet talked about what the prizes are. So let's take a bit of time to talk about that. So firstly, I can start, and if I forget anything, you could remind me, Monika. But from the top of my head, top of my mind, so AI Launch Lab has AI R&D programs that are starting in the spring, the fall, and also in the winter. And we're going to invite everyone to join those. Those will allow for a lot more impact because there are 8 weeks. We'll have a ton of mentors as well during that, all of those cohorts. And it's really an opportunity to take these types of projects to the next level. So that's one. The second is we're going to offer to select teams to actually have their own projects. So these will be like, you're the project mandator, of course, you know, within some constraints, but we're going to do our best to support you on your project throughout these programs. So that's another one. We will offer up to 3 of those. The other big one, which I think is really, really cool, is to meet with some of these VIPs that we managed to have at this event, whether they were judges, keynote speakers, mentors. And so it'll be kind of like an exclusive virtual lunch or dinner with these people. So maybe a few teams, a few of these VIPs, and you'll be able to really just chat with them. And this is really valuable because many of these people are so busy, they're so important, that if you were to be one of their good friends and you tried to, you know, set up a dinner with them, you could maybe be waiting for a couple of months before their schedule would open up, right? So really, really valuable this will be, and we'll announce who these people will be. We'll reach out to you. Another one is AWS credits. So we're going to be awarding some AWS credits to some of the winning teams. In particular, if you did use AWS during this weekend. Then, as Bo very generously mentioned, that he's interested in hiring some of you as students, and also providing funding if you are eligible to go into the master's or PhD program. There's also a Climate Hub. So this is for the Reducing CO2 Challenge, where Matthew has very generously offered to have a VIP session with some of the people, at least one of the people within Al Gore's office, so really interesting, people who kind of work with him on a daily basis in his endeavors to try to address the climate crisis. So really cool to be able to get in contact with people like that. Another one that's really awesome is from Front Row Ventures. So one of our partners for this event, they had mentors during the weekend. They had a workshop as well, which unfortunately that workshop we weren't able to do because of some technical issues on our side, but they are awarding a very special prize. So Front Row Ventures has Women Founders Fund. And this is basically to try to promote women founders. So within the tech industry, within startups, there's really not enough women founders. Not that there's not an interest from women, but they just aren't given the kind of support, the kind of funding that they need, and we really need to change that. So Women Founders Fund is kind of a very exclusive program that they offer to women, people who identify as women, to be able to provide them a lot of mentorship and support in building their startup up. So that's going to be awarded to one very special person during, out of the winners. And I think that is probably what we have to say with regard to awards right now. We will be adding more as well to this. So we've been reaching out really crazily to all of our partners to see what they would be willing to offer, because all of you are really in demand. Talent is in shortage, and so a lot of partners will want to get to meet you and maybe hire you. So we're going to be reaching out throughout the coming weeks and months for that. So that's what I have on prizes. I feel like there's something that I wanted to say also, but maybe Monika, you can take it from there.
Yeah, no, Tim, that's actually a long list. And I think all of these awards bring visibility, opportunity. And even if you are a team or a participant that did not win, one thing you all want for sure is a lot of experience, of learning, of connections, and an opportunity to grow. Even if you did not make the list, there will be chances to reconnect, to rebuild, form new teams. So it's not the end. I think everyone that participated is a winner. And at the end of the day, we'll be around, Tim and I, to make sure that you guys have more chances to pursue these important challenges.
Absolutely, yeah. So please reach out to us. If you weren't a winner or a nominee, we definitely want to support you throughout your path, your journey, and especially if it's something to do with addressing climate or other socially impactful issues. So reach out for that. And this is it. I mean, it's the culmination of an entire week long event, really. And for us, I mean, we've been doing this for months, several months before that to plan for this. So such a amazing note to end on, to see everything that was accomplished, to see all the collaboration. I'm really so excited. Again, I just want to make that point that this is the end of the beginning, but the beginning of the next part of that journey. So thank you to everyone.
Absolutely. And thank you once again to those that made it happen, to the challenge owners, to the judges, to particularly the organizing team, those at AI Launch Lab, at MTL Green. Make sure you follow those two groups. There's a lot of effort, ideas, collaboration in there. So make sure you keep close eye of the activities that will be coming in the near future. And you know what, Tim? I feel like sad, I feel I miss you already. Like, I don't want this to end. And
yeah, we're not in the studio anymore.
I mean, studio or not, the planet doesn't want us to just end it here. We need to continue. So definitely you'll see us around again. So make sure to connect, and I will miss all of you. It was great to meet people from all around the globe, as we saw at the beginning, and getting to meet you guys. It made us all forget about the pandemic. I think that's something everyone was just so focused on this that we forgot that there was an outside world and that we couldn't even go outside. I think that made it really interesting for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. And I just wanted to also mention that the sponsors that really helped us to make this happen again. So CIFAR, we really appreciate that financial support. Concordia Student Union gave us a lot of money to help make this happen. Concordia Council on Student Life, as well as Dawson College. So really, really thanks for that. As we go on beyond this and have other initiatives, we're really reliant on this type of support to be able to do what we're doing. You know, almost all of us in the organizing team are volunteers. Even the people who are getting paid a little bit, it's really not what anybody's worth. So we're really, you know, working all hours throughout the night to try to make this happen. And again, it's not about us. It's like about all of the people who worked on this during the weekend. But just to say, you know, we're trying our best, and we want, you know, everyone to kind of join together again. Whether it's our event or other events, we really want to have this continue on. So again, thank you. Is that it? Are we ready to? Are we gonna cry now, and are we gonna party? What's happening, Monika?
I think it'll be a bit of both. Hopefully, all of you know have a chance to celebrate, no matter the outcome. I think it's important to celebrate the little wins, because it's the only way we can all climb the mountain together.
That's a great note to end on, Monika. All right, well, let's say our goodbye.
All right, guys. See you soon. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay happy.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
you know, bringing challenges forward, and don't give up. That's all we need to do.
Exactly, and keep fighting the climate crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.